Up guys, welcome to another video in this course. In the previous video I showed you about how to create multiple routes on our express server, and also how to use route matching to make sure that our server handles requests as in a very best way. So in this video we'll be looking at route parameters. Now what are route parameters? Route parameters are values or data that comes into a server in form of a request URL. So it's just like me saying, for example, I'm just going to use a server as an example. So here I want to search for videos. Let's say I have a path configured for videos, and here I need to have the video ID. So let's say the video ID is 1234. So now a route parameter could be in form of this. So I can extract this in my express server on my express server and use this value to fetch the video that the user requests for. So and that is what we're going to do right now. We're going to create a route that um, that allows the user or the person making the request to add parameters or values um, in the URL, and we're going to extract this URL on our Express server and use it to send data back to the user. But in this case, we're just going to use it to send a response back to the user. We are not fetching any videos in this tutorial. So let me dive into my editor, and right now we're going to create a new path. In this case, we're going to say app.get. Now I'm going to add such videos. Then I'm going to have something here, and I'm going to give it a name of video ID, video underscore ID. So here is how we declare a route parameter. So it's just something like a placeholder. Now remember to always put a colon before it. So having a colon before it shows Express or tells Express that this is actually a parameter, expect a value. So any value passed in here. So after video slash, then whatever the user passes in here is actually a value that is to be referenced by this name of video ID. So this video ID is serving as a parameter, just like you have it in functions. So any value supplied to it whenever the client or the user is making a request, that is what this is going to represent. So now we are going to have our cover function as always, a request and a response. And Okay, so here we're going to log the same thing to the console that the request has been made to the URL. I'm just going to grab that and paste it over here. Now, for our response, we're going to send a dynamic response to the user. So I'm going to do res.send. In this case, I'm going to use a formatted string or a template string, and I'm going to say video. Yeah, something like video requested with ID then I'm going to put in the value here. And now how do we reference a route parameter in Express? um Actually, like I said in the previous video, in the earlier part of this course, I said that the request object here contains a lot of tools that we can use or that we are going to use during this course every time. So the request is an object that contains a lot of things, a lot of values concerning or pertaining to the request that our clients make. So now we can reference our request dot something called params. Now, this params stands for the parameters that are coming from the URL. So here we're dealing with route parameters, so we can say request.params. Now, params is an object that contains all the route parameters that are declared here. So right now, if I say request.params dot, now you're going to see my IntelliSense suggesting for me video ID because I've already declared it here. So params is just like an object that's inside our request that contains the route parameters that we are declared or that we are ready to receive um in this endpoint. So I'm just going to say request the params of video ID. Now I don't need to restart my server because Node 1 is doing that already for me. Now, if you have an error in your code, it's going to crash, but it's going to start over again itself. So it's very easy to work with Node 1, trust me. All right. So now we have this set in place. So whenever the user make a request to video slash then whatever ID, we're going to send this response back to the user. So let's test this out in our browser. Um, Now I have slash video slash 1234. So let me make a request to this. Now you can see video requested with ID of 1234. Let's change this. Let me type a bunch of alphanumeric characters, which nonsense by the way. So make a request again. Now in this case we get this. So this is an example of a dynamic way of getting values from our user and using it to handle the request. So right here, as you can see, whatever I type in here will be regarded as a parameter or a value that has been stored in a raw parameter, and we're using it right here in our code. Now we can take this a step further uh, and add more things, especially to video ID. So we can have two parameters, two or more. We can have more than one parameters in our video at the same time. So here we have the video ID. Then we can do something like video name. So we can have more than one route parameter declared in our route. So here we have the video ID and the video name. So we can say video requested with ID um, and name of again. I'm going to inject the value into here. So that'll be request of params and dot video. Now my IntelliSense is going to suggest it for me again because it's already been declared. So now I have everything set up. Let's test this out once again in the browser. And this time around, we're going to have an ID and also a name, a video name. So I'm going to punch in random ID, then slash again. I'm going to give this suits. Okay. So video requested with an ID 123412 and name suits. So let's say I want to change the name of the video again, and here add friends, and yeah, so it's going to dynamically change this for me. So this is how we use raw parameters in Express. You can have, like I said, more than one raw parameters. Just before I end this video, I also want to try another example with this. I'm going to create a new endpoint or a new route, and here I'm going to call it profile. So and I'm going to have the username here. So what to have the username? Yeah, just the username in this case. Or we can have more values. Let's mix this up. Let's add more things here. So I'm going to have the email and well let's just say password for now. Though I do not advise you to do something like this for a real world application or for any application you are developing. This is just an example in our case or in this instance. So I'm going to have the request and also the response, and all right, so once again, I'm going to copy these. I think I have it copied already. All right, here I do. So, um, here in this case, I'm going to do res.send. So I'm going to send back a response to the client side, and here I'm going to say welcome with the username. So I'm going to inject the username here. So that'll be request.params dot username, and your email is and we have the email here too. You can do pretty much anything you want with this. I'm just trying to show you how to use these things and having more examples so that it can be clearer to you guys. And yeah, we can also display password, and your password is this. So, like I said, it's not advised that you put someone's password or you use you send someone's password with this method. It's very, very wrong. I'm going to show you a better way to send data to the client side without revealing it in the URL later during this course. So here we want to add the password, so that'll be request.params and dot password. All right, so we have everything set up for us. Let's head over to our browser, and this time around we are no longer making requests for videos. We are making requests for profile. Um, then now we know we have the username first, so I'm going to say my username is Jerry, and slash my email is going to be Jerry at codemania.com, and my password is going to be 123456. Well, this isn't my password, so you can do whatever you want with it. So now we have this. Welcome, Jerry. Your email is jerry at comedian.com and your password is 123456. So cool. Now we can vividly see how to use route parameters, how can declare them, and how can utilize them on our Express 7. Now, in the next video, I'm going to show you something that looks more like route parameters, but in this case, we call them query parameters. They also come along with our URL. I'm going to show you how to use them also. So until then, remember to leave a like to this video if you find it helpful, and also remember to subscribe to this channel if you've not done so. I'm going to see you in the next video.